Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Gossips. This is my recap for the anime Demon Slayer Hashira training arc. The story begins with Muzan finally arriving at Ubuyashiki's mansion after a 3-minute walk. Ubuyashiki acknowledges Muzan for coming to him, as his family and the Demon Slayer corpse have been chasing him for 1,000 years. Then Ubuyashiki asks Amane how Muzan looks. Amane tells Ubuyashiki that Muzan appears like a young man in his 20s, but with deep plum-colored eyes and cat-like pupils. Ubuyashiki says that he knew Muzan would come, because he thinks Muzan has been terribly angry at the Ubuyashiki family for a long time. Ubuyashiki further says that he always expected Muzan to come personally to eliminate him. After hearing this, Muzan says he is disappointed to see the head of the clan who has opposed him for 1,000 years in such a bad state. Muzan then tells him that his body already smells like a corpse. Ubuyashiki replies that he knows because 6 months ago, his doctor said he would die in a few days, but he is still alive thanks to his strong desire to defeat Muzan. Muzan replies that this dream of defeating him will end tonight, as he is going to eliminate him now. Then Ubuyashiki tells Muzan that they come from the same bloodline, though Muzan was born over 1,000 years ago, so they are not closely related. Muzan says this means nothing to him and asks what Ubuyashiki is trying to say. Ubuyashiki explains that their family has been cursed because they gave birth to a monster like him. He tells Muzan that their children were born sick and weak, and their family was on the brink of extinction until a priest advised them that a demon had emerged from their bloodline, and to survive, they had to dedicate themselves to eliminating that demon. Ubuyashiki says that over time they married daughters of priests, which made their children less likely to die young, but no one in their family has lived past the age of 30. But Muzan isn't affected by his words, and says that Ubuyashiki's story is making him sick, and asks if his disease has spread to his brain, as the story seems irrelevant. Muzan says he has never faced divine punishment for becoming a demon, and eliminating hundreds of thousands of humans. Muzan further says he has never seen gods or Buddha in over 1,000 years. Ubuyashiki wonders if this is how Muzan sees it, and tells Muzan that he has his own way of thinking. After that, Ubuyashiki asks Muzan what his dream has been for the last 1,000 years. But Muzan feels something strange, and realizes that he doesn't have any hatred for Ubuyashiki, even though he is right in front of him. Suddenly, Muzan notices Ubuyashiki's 2 daughters playing and singing, and feels a disturbing sense of nostalgia and relief. He also thinks that there are only 4 people in Ubuyashiki's mansion and no bodyguards. Then Ubuyashiki tells Muzan that he knows what Muzan is thinking, and says that Muzan is dreaming of eternity and immortality. Muzan confirms that this is exactly his dream, and says it will soon come true once he gets Nezuko. But Ubuyashiki tells him that his dream will not come true. Muzan replies that he seems confident about hiding Nezuko, but he will find her eventually because he has all the time in the world, unlike Ubuyashiki. Then Ubuyashiki says that Muzan has misunderstood eternity. He explains that eternity is the human will, which lasts forever and is immortal. Muzan finds this idea rubbish, and says he is sick of Ubuyashiki's words. Ubuyashiki says that despite many demon slayers perishing over the 1,000 years, the demon slayer corpse has never been eradicated. Its continued existence proves that the human will is indeed immortal, which Muzan thinks is rubbish. Ubuyashiki tells Muzan that his own death won't make a difference. But if Muzan is eliminated, all demons will disappear from the world. After hearing this, Muzan is shocked, and he angrily tells Ubuyashiki to shut up. Ubuyashiki says he has said enough, and even if he dies, it will only motivate the demon slayer corpse even more. Muzan gets ready to attack and asks if Ubuyashiki is done talking. Ubuyashiki confirms and says he never thought Muzan would listen for so long. He thanks Muzan for this. Meanwhile, the crows inform all the Hashira that Ubuyashiki's mansion is under attack. All the Hashira rush toward the mansion, desperate to reach it as soon as possible. There is a flashback where Sanemi asks Gyomei if they could leave 2 Hashira at the mansion to guard Ubuyashiki. But Gyomei told him that it is impossible, as he has been suggesting this to Ubuyashiki for the past 8 years. But Ubuyashiki always refuses. Gyomei explains that Ubuyashiki insists the Hashira are too valuable resource to use for his protection. Back to the present, all the Hashira are still running toward Ubuyashiki's mansion, fearing for their master's life and running as fast as they can. Meanwhile, at Ubuyashiki's mansion, Muzan is ready to attack Ubuyashiki. But suddenly, the entire mansion starts burning and then explodes. All the Hashira stop in the shockwave. Tanjiro catches the scent of burning and realizes what has happened. Meanwhile, inside the mansion, Muzan's body is almost completely burned by the blast, but he regenerates his body parts instantly. As he regenerates, he recalls the look on Ubuyashiki's face before the explosion, which resembled a serene Buddha's smile. Muzan realizes that Ubuyashiki blew himself up along with his wife and 2 children. Muzan admits he underestimated Ubuyashiki by thinking of him as just another human, but now sees him as completely unpredictable. Muzan notices that the explosives were filled with something like tiny makibishi, which increased their destructive power and were meant to slow down his regeneration, even if only by a second. Muzan senses that Ubuyashiki's plan isn't finished yet and senses humans gathering nearby. He thinks they are likely the Hashira, but feels there is something else as well. He realizes that Ubuyashiki used himself as bait, and thinks about how much Ubuyashiki has been filled with rage and hatred for him. He wonders if Ubuyashiki's wife and children knowingly participated in this plan. After that, Muzan focuses on regenerating, but suddenly a blood demon art appears in front of him and penetrates his body. These seeds create nails inside Muzan's body to immobilize him. Muzan finds himself unable to move, and wonders whose blood demon art this is as the thorns branch out in his body, making it impossible to free himself. However, he thinks it doesn't matter as he can just absorb them. Then suddenly, Tamo appears there and pierces her fist into Muzan's stomach. Muzan is shocked to see her and asks what she is doing there. Tamo tells him that the thorn blood demon art belongs to the man that he turned into a demon in Asakusa. However, Muzan realizes that Tamo approached him using the concealment blood demon art. He wonders what Tamo is after and what she plans to do. Then Tamo asks Muzan if he has absorbed her fist, and if he knows what it contained. She reveals that it contains a medicine that turns demons back into humans and asks if it is starting to take effect. But Muzan says such medicine doesn't exist. Tamae tells him that she has completed it, though she couldn't have done it alone. In the meantime, Muzan pierces his thumb into Tamo's head, and taunts her by saying that she doesn't know when to give up. Then he asks Tamo who eliminated her husband and children, and if it was him. Muzan reveals it was actually Tamo herself who eliminated and devoured them. Tame becomes emotional after hearing this, and says that if she had known that would happen, she would never have become a demon. Tamo further says that she only wanted to live long enough to see her children grow up. However, Muzan mocks Tamo by telling her that after that, she was the one who went on to eliminate many humans. He further says that she seemed to enjoy devouring them. Tamo admits he is right, so to atone for those sins, she will sacrifice herself to defeat him. Suddenly, she calls out to Gyomei to attack Muzan. Then Gyomei appears behind Muzan, attacks him, and gives a critical blow to Muzan. Then Gyomei recalls his past when he first met Ubuyashiki at age 14. While he was 18, he has a hard time believing someone so calm was younger than him. He remembers that Ubuyashiki believed in him and encouraged him to fight to protect others. Then in a flashback, Ubuyashiki tells Gyomei that Muzan will come in 5 days, and asks Gyomei to use him as bait and take Muzan's head. Ubuyashiki asks Gyomei to do this because other Hashira and demon slayers would not agree with this plan. While crying, Gyomei agrees to his plan. Back in the present, Muzan regenerates his upper body completely. Seeing this, Gyomei acknowledges that Ubuyashiki was right. Beheading Muzan won't eliminate him. Gyomei recalls that Ubuyashiki told him that if beheading Muzan doesn't work, then the only thing that can destroy Muzan is sunlight. This is why Ubuyashiki had told him to keep fighting Muzan until sunrise. Gyomei is shocked by Muzan's rapid regeneration, and realizes that Muzan is on a whole different level than any demon he has ever faced. Gyomei continues running toward Muzan to fight him as he cannot imagine how much strength Muzan still has. He thinks that he must keep Muzan restrained in a place where the sunlight can reach him until dawn. In the meantime, Muzan uses his blood demon art, black blood brambles, but Gyomei easily counters it using stone-breathing third form, stone skin. In the meantime, Sanemi arrives there. He becomes furious upon seeing the state of Ubuyashiki's mansion. He asks Muzan what he did to master Ubuyashiki. Then other Hashira arrive there, and they also get shocked to see the mansion's condition. Gyomei realizes that all the Hashira are gathered now, so they can start their plan to fight Muzan. He tells everyone that this demon is Muzan, and explains that even if they cut off his head, he won't be defeated. Everyone is shocked to learn that this demon is Muzan himself. All the Hashira move to attack Muzan using their breathing styles, but Muzan smiles, and suddenly doors appear in front of them, teleporting all the Hashira and demon slayers into the Infinity Castle. Even demon slayers who were away from Ubuyashiki's mansion, like Inosuke, who is sitting and trying to eat, get teleported. Everyone is in shock upon entering the Infinity Castle, but Inosuke seems excited, and Zenitsu makes a cool entrance. He seems serious and determined to fight the Upper Moons. As the Hashira fall into the Infinity Castle, Tanjiro stops at one place and comes face to face with Muzan. Muzan asks Tanjiro if he thinks he has got him into a corner. He says that they are all going straight to hell, because tonight he is going to massacre every Hashira and Demon Slayer. Tanjiro says that it is Muzan who is going to hell, not them. Muzan challenges him by saying, "Do it if you can." While falling, Tanjiro says that he will defeat him. And that's the end of the video. Please comment and let me know which anime recap you'd like to see next. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.